Milan was not simply hosting a fashion show, it was hosting history. The arrival of BTS's Jin for Gucci's Milan Fashion Week event sent shockwaves through the city and across the fashion world. How did one man transform a runway into the most-watched cultural moment of the year? Why did thousands flood the streets, airports, and social media feeds, all for a single appearance? These questions continue to dominate global headlines as analysts and fans dissect the implications of Jin's collaboration with Gucci. The spectacle began before the first model set foot on the runway. At Milan Malpensa Airport, thousands of fans gathered, chanting and waving banners as they awaited Jin's landing. The arrival hall turned into a deafening chorus, a sign that this was no ordinary celebrity appearance. Security struggled to contain the crowd as he emerged, dressed in understated yet immaculate style, a calculated decision that hinted at something far more dramatic waiting for the runway. Footage from the airport instantly went viral, dominating global trends and making it clear that Gucci's show would not just be a fashion event, it would be a worldwide broadcast. By the time Jin arrived at the venue, every seat inside the historic location was filled, and online streams were surging. Journalists, fashion editors, and industry leaders whispered about what his presence meant, debating whether Gucci was signaling a new era of cross-cultural partnerships. The lights dimmed, the music swelled, and then Jin appeared. The audience's reaction shattered the usual quiet etiquette of fashion shows. Cheers, applause, and camera flashes filled the room. He walked in a custom-designed Gucci ensemble, blending the house's iconic motifs with elements inspired by Korean artistry, making a statement that was both elegant and revolutionary. Critics have described the look as one of the most significant fashion moments of 2025. The jacket's intricate embroidery, reportedly inspired by traditional Korean patterns, was paired with sleek tailored trousers and a modern cut that balanced heritage and futurism. Every detail, from the color palette to the silhouette, spoke of a deliberate partnership between Jin and Gucci's creative team. This was not merely a celebrity endorsement, it was a collaboration at the highest level of artistry. Social media platforms erupted. Within minutes of Jin's appearance, Gucci's live stream numbers broke previous records, and fashion journalists scrambled to publish instant analysis. The collaboration was hailed as a masterstroke, bridging the gap between European haute couture and the global K-pop phenomenon. Industry analysts predicted that Gucci would see a major spike in brand engagement and sales across Asia, and even suggested that this move could inspire other luxury brands to pursue similar partnerships with leading cultural figures. The runway finale solidified the night's impact. Jin returned to the stage, this time walking side by side with Gucci's creative director, signaling that he was not simply a guest but a central figure in the narrative of the collection. The crowd rose in a standing ovation, something almost unheard of in the usually reserved world of Fashion Week. The applause was more than for the clothes. It was for the statement being made that the worlds of music and fashion were no longer separate but fully intertwined. Outside the venue, fans who had been unable to secure tickets waited in the streets, cheering as Jin exited and waving banners late into the night. Videos of the scene spread globally, turning Milan into a symbol of cultural convergence. Analysts pointed out that no single celebrity appearance in recent memory had commanded this level of public attention during Fashion Week, marking the event as a turning point for the industry. The aftermath continues to reverberate. Fashion magazines dedicated entire covers to Jin's look, while business outlets focused on the economic implications of the collaboration. Could this partnership evolve into a capsule collection? Would Gucci invite Jin to co-design future pieces? And what does this mean for other luxury houses now racing to capture the same cultural moment? Each question fuels speculation, but one truth is undeniable. Jin's night in Milan has become the benchmark against which future fashion collaborations will be measured. this was not merely about clothing or celebrity appearances. It was about cultural power, market influence, and the ability of a single individual to turn a fashion show into a global phenomenon. Milan has seen countless iconic moments, but few with such reach, emotion, and resonance. As the lights of the venue faded and the city returned to normal, one name remained on everyone's lips: Jin, the man who turned Gucci's runway into a cultural earthquake. The public reaction to this phenomenon indeed reflects how powerful the influence of public figures like BTS's Jin is in shaping narratives in the digital space. However, can we really be sure that all the information circulating represents the reality that is happening? Doesn't every piece of video, upload on TikTok, or tweet on Twitter have the potential for bias, framing, and even certain goals that are not necessarily in line with the real facts? This question is important to ask because in the current era of information openness, truth and sensation often go hand in hand, and even mix without clear boundaries. If we delve deeper, this event seems designed to create a huge wave of public attention. Is it a truly spontaneous moment, or is it a carefully prepared scenario that maximizes the emotional impact on a global audience? Given the information we get from various platforms such as YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, to online news media, shouldn't we question the authenticity of every snippet presented? What if most of the content has gone through a process of editing, choosing a certain point of view, or even repackaging to provoke certain emotions? We need to reflect on the extent to which we as spectators contribute to reinforcing the cycle of sensationalism. Are we just passive consumers who receive raw information, or are we part of a narrative dissemination mechanism that may not necessarily be valid? Are we unconsciously expanding the reach of unverified news simply because we are driven by emotion or momentary curiosity? These questions are important to answer honestly, because every click, comment, or re-upload has consequences in shaping public perception. This phenomenon has also led to a broader reflection on the role of mass media and social media in framing reality. Does the media only convey information as it is, or do they also have a certain interest in determining which issues are worthy of being raised and how they are packaged? When an event like this goes viral, is it purely the result of organic popularity, or is there a marketing strategy working behind the scenes to ensure that the narrative dominates the global conversation? Questions like these should encourage the audience to not only accept, but also analyze every piece of information that comes their way. At this point, we need to invite readers to be more skeptical. Are we willing to believe a news story just because it was uploaded by a big account on TikTok or YouTube? Does the number of likes, views, or retweets automatically make the information correct? Don't hoaxes also often go viral in the same way? In fact, in some cases, misinformation spreads faster than the truth. If so, are we prepared to be part of the spread of potentially erroneous information? Furthermore, let us ask, does a phenomenon like this benefit all parties involved, or only a select few gain commercial advantage and popularity? Isn't every major coverage of BTS's Jin, whether positive or controversial, always going to generate a huge wave of conversation that benefits certain parties from the economic side, engagement, to increased global exposure? If so, are we just a spectator or, at the same time, a target of the big game of the entertainment industry? We cannot turn a blind eye to the fact that the world of K-pop entertainment has